Come from a troubled past, the mind of a double standard. I write with the other hand, you might misunderstand them. Just take a closer look, you can see the bread upon us. I make history for a living, men of honor.
All right, we are in the art of conversation with my boy Hash.
Yes,
it's
sir.
been a long day.
It's been a long day, bro.
We're probably like 12
Yeah.
a.m. right now.
Yeah, 12 a.m. on the dot. You're right.
How was your day, Hash? What was you up to today?
Today was good. I have been picking up some traffic since I moved here, and
Well, like new clients?
Mhm.
Oh, that's a blessing, man.
and I'm happy. It's like to see that this thing is still in motion for me, like a lot of motion. So it's just all about creating an atmosphere where I could provide a quality type of service for these guys, and it's been good.
Since working with people, Hash, because you work with so many different people, on a daily basis. And you've done this for how long now?
17 years, actually. 17 years.
Almost 20, around the corner.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah.
Going on 18 probably, but 17 years for sure.
In 17 years, what is a couple of things that working as a master barber has taught you about people?
You can't, no matter how much you try, and this is probably a well-known statement at this point, but you can't really please everybody. You can't please everybody. Everybody's different, and you have to be that diverse and broad in your skill level in order to at least cover at least 95-90% customer satisfaction, and that is a task in futility. Trust me. Yeah.
How hard is that? Like what kind of skills would you say that you gotta have to even meet such a high?
First of all, you have to love people. You have to. I mean, if you at least have a love for people, and this is just my honest, genuine opinion, then and only then you can kind of, find a comfort zone in delivering a service. Because what people don't really realize, and as a barber you have to master that, is everybody comes in to the space where you're giving a service with an entirely different energy, and depending on what standards you hold your business to, you have to cultivate that into whatever your vibe is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my case, I like to keep it positive, because I know for at least 45 minutes, there's no telling what brothers is going through. A lot of times, sometimes they want to talk, but a lot of times they just want to sit and process. And you could tell, if you're intuitive or you pay attention, you could tell. You can almost read some of these guys' mind, like, man, this man probably going
Really?
through
Is
hell.
that apparent?
It's that intense with me, because the skill level to cut hair, when you get to where I'm at, I've been in a profession as long, is purely based on muscle memory. So I could give you a fire haircut in my sleep almost. Not literally, but yeah.
Hey, I've seen the reviews. They all.
Yeah.
It's not one negative review.
No. And that is mind blowing to me even to this day, because it's hard to please everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I think what people gravitated to was they always felt that welcome in here. I don't know what it. Everybody felt. They felt that welcome. They loved the vibe and the energy that's in here. So I'm thankful to God that I was able to display that. Now, it's quite the opposite of what my real life and stuff that I'm going through outside of the shop. But I was able to maintain a positive kind of atmosphere for the guys and clients, new and old. And it's been amazing to have that type of respect from the people, for this long. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I'm running business on my own. I'm no longer in a shop, right? So a bunch of stuff could have went wrong. Yeah. And I could have fell short many a times, but I don't know, man. As the grace of God, I have been able to uphold pretty good name in the business, and I'm thankful.
Oh, most definitely. There's a lot of people, like you said, they do take that leap of faith, and things actually don't go right.
It don't.
And, they give up. And so for you to be in the position you are, that's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, it's rewarding, to be honest with you, because businesses thrive on the type of name you have. And I don't get to talk about this much, but I'm not the type of guy to ask people to give reviews. And it's only because of when you ask for a review, it seems transactional. It seems like this is your motive.
You think so?
Yeah. So the genuine energy that you would display into your service, it's now like, all right, well, you're doing this for a review, and that takes away the entire authentic feel.
Yeah, that
of the
authenticity from the experience, right?
So I never ask people for a review, and I focus on serving. I'm big on serving. I'm big on making sure I give the client what they ask for, and I'm just big on serving. Period. Even in my outside life, because they're drawn to servers. When you come in to take, you have a different kind of energy, you know? And servers, for some reason, are needed in our world today. We live in a very self-centered type of space now. It's all about what I can get from you, and vice versa. And there's not enough serving. And because of that, the lack of it, our social ability to really just function in a healthy space, shattered right now. Shattered. So it's like, if I was to push any type of energy, I'm coming with an energy of servitude, because I'm already blessed. I don't have to do anything to prove anything to anybody. I definitely don't have to take. I'm not here to take anything from you. If anything, I'd rather be here to give something, right? So I'm big on that, and I'm pushing that energy heavy, serving and giving. Like, those are two things. Yeah.
Now, you've been in a position where you rent chairs in establishments. I'm sure that you bump shoulders with some really cold people that could cut some really good hair that maybe have skills.
Yeah.
But did you see people that were really good? Have you run into people that were really good cutting hair, but just didn't have the personality to genuinely care about people and then have that serving attitude? What was the difference that you see with people like that?
People like that, the profession would exhaust them a lot faster, because it's hard for you to fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a hard thing for you to, try to, create a facade that you like
put
somebody.
a fake smile on for a couple of hours a day. It's hard.
It's hard for a couple hours, but imagine doing it for a lengthy period of time. And the bad part about that is you have some of your clients are going to revisit you. How do you fake that over and over? You know what I'm saying? You can't. So I've seen that a lot. And to their defense, we're human beings, right? So everybody's different. I've had to learn that too. It's a part of understanding, the diversity from person to person. You gotta be that broad, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different. Everybody is not as social, everybody is not friendly. I spoke about that many a times in my past. This term not being friendly is, it's weird to me. It's because it's like, I get it, but friendly, it just pertains to, it's an addition to being social. Friendly doesn't say you're weak.
Yeah, because you get like, oh, he's too friendly.
Yeah,
or she's too friendly. They take that as softness, right?
Yeah, it's like it's misunderstood, and I get it. I after living in Houston for so long, I understand what they mean, right? But it's another side of me that it irks me, because that could be misunderstood to some people, especially people that are not from here.
Sure.
I just think that you'd have to make that clear every time. And to be honest with you, the last title you want to have in business is that of non-friendly. You're now asking for people to not... Do you know there's people that would look at that statement, if it's associated with anything you do, and be like, nah, I don't want to go there.
Now, I've seen a couple of times, maybe like on the net or, maybe through word of mouth, like, let's say I don't know if you've heard these like memes or just assumptions that when you go to like a Caribbean restaurant or spot, they're gonna be rude to you. They gonna,
Yeah,
but people
yeah.
come back because the food is too damn
Right,
good.
right,
you
right,
know?
right. So to explain that,
Yeah.
when people, food is one of those things that's gonna sell for itself, right?
Okay.
So if you're already hungry, you would take an attitude and everything because, and just just generalizing what we were talking about,
Yeah.
but even in that field, if the person behind the counter is nasty enough, it doesn't even matter how good the food tastes. It's like, I feel awful here.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. You
Right.
know, it's weird. So I don't think good food is gonna trump, a welcoming atmosphere to new people and people who's never been in the establishment. Just my opinion. And everybody might have a different there, but I've seen from Hispanic, African, Haitian, I've dealt with all sorts of people.
Yeah.
People love when you treat them like human beings, like give them some sort of, you could show them just a little bit of love. They feeling like they home. You know what I'm saying? It's the weirdest thing. A firm handshake, sometime a brotherly embrace. If you're dealing with a female, a clean hug. People could feel that resonates. I'm talking about.
So you saying it goes beyond culture and background? Like,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've had a female in my past that I knew from her bringing her son to the shop for me to cut his hair, and she said she remembered the first time she met me, I gave her a hug. She said she'll never forget it. I'm talking about, this is years. Now,
she remembers that one
she
hug.
remembers the hug, and I don't even remember the hug.
Of course,
that's how many hugs I give out.
Yeah,
because it's a part of welcoming my people.
Yes.
So it's just like I was raised that way. I thank God for my people exposing me and showing me the love from a kid. But yeah, I don't think not friendly is gonna work in or out of business, if I'm being honest.
So I want to hit some, Hash, because you just brought up that warmness, that welcoming energy that you got, that mentality, the spirit that comes from childhood.
It comes from childhood.
So can you talk a little bit about that, and what did you experience in childhood that was cultivated in you, that developed that welcoming, natural welcomingness, that warmness, that now people come just to experience that with you on top of a good service?
That came from humble beginnings, right? Humble beginnings. Me being from Trinidad, born and raised, coming from poverty, something about not having, it already sets the stage for you to develop a characteristic like being humble and appreciating damn near everything, because you started from nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like that. That's something that you can only get from coming from nothing, right? Let me just start there. And when you come from nothing, you tend to have a large sense of appreciation for a moment, because especially when you come from where I come from to where I am now, you appreciate this in I'm talking about in the deepest sense. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people where I come from that's not seeing this at all.
So what did it look like where you came from? What's the big, paint the picture? What did it look like compared to now?
Where I came from the bottom. I want to say that. And I mean that in every sense of the term. I came from old houses, holes in the floor, holes in the roof, washing clothes outside with blue soap, boiling water to take showers, no lights for days, candles in place of the lights. The atmosphere would be, if you look at it today, it would consider extreme lower class, like extreme. The roads is messed up. You know what I mean? The people that's outside it as kids, our whole attire, you could tell like we didn't have it. It's more slippers, it's shorts. You know what I mean? It you know, clothes from the Salvation Army. These are things that set the grounds for, you know, for poor people. You know what I'm saying? But it also instilled a sense of humility and appreciation. Those are two things that anybody that came from nothing, they would share these characteristics. It's just something that, you know, you develop because you don't have. And this can happen to anybody. Even if you were to go for, let's say you started there or you was to revisit there, you would come back with a sense of appreciation right now.
Yeah.
Like, man, listen, to be able to go to my fridge and take out some good meal and warm it up and have, got lights going, you know what I mean? It's cool in the crib smell good. Like all these is like, it's things that people appreciate when you came from not having. So I would say Trinidad, growing up in Trinidad, my mom, she believed in God all the way, and she showed us Christ as kids. And that and poverty has a powerful impact on, you know, who you are as an individual. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would have to say, yeah, the upbringing, man. That upbringing did it for me.
So when you come from that type of poverty and that type of need, it obviously you come in here and you making a life for yourself. I mean, how much was it a shock for you when you first came? Like, when did you first come to the States? And how much of a shock was it for you when you came to the States and you saw the differences of how people live? Now you don't gotta go boil your own water. Now you could flip a switch and light instantly appears. Maybe now you ain't got no holes in the roof.
No.
What was your thought process and how much of a shock was that for you?
It wasn't like a big shock. It was more or less adjusting, because we already seen, you know, the lifestyle of the American people and the way they live through the TV, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's televised, right?
Yeah. So what would you see on TV as, like, you know, like
Coming
Cosby
up,
Show and all
coming
that?
up, yeah,
big old
for
houses?
sure.
Yeah.
Cosby, Family Matters, Martin, Jamie Foxx. These were shows that you could watch. Coming up as a kid, Sesame Street, like all of these were shows that kind of gave you a glimpse at what life was like. And then, of course, movies. Watch a lot of movies. But yeah, because we already seen, because be honest with you, the television, it impresses on you as a viewer influence. So it's like, it's very easy to be like, damn, I'm talking about before I came to the US, I already knew how to talk like Martin and them. So it was like, yeah, it was easy. And then Will Smith, of course, Fresh Prince and stuff. Yeah. So
you had a Trinidadian accent.
Oh, my accent was thick. And I used to get clowned for it, to be honest with you. But you know, and that was a rough period around. I came here in '96 and I was 16. So that was rough because I would get picked on, and I realized now it was, even for the teenagers today, it's all about fitting in, you know? So we would do anything to fit in as a people, especially teenagers, right? So
yeah,
that was where, that was the most, you know, I could say with regards to the culture, it was more or less adjusting to the atmosphere. It was cold. It was a lot of snow at that time. I came in Christmas, so I saw snow for the first time. And it was dope. Yeah. It was dope. It was different. But yeah, it was just adjusting.
How old were you when you like first arrived to the States?
When I first came here, I was 16.
16 years old?
Yeah, I was 16. And
so you a little older, like just acclimating to, like you said, you was getting picked on, made fun of because
Of
of your
course.
culture. Like this is who you. This is your identity. Everybody
Yeah.
back home the same way, and now people are attacking that. You know,
Yeah.
that must be weird.
Honestly, when I think about it, it was, I could appreciate it now, man, because it definitely, I tell you why.
You can appreciate a good chopping on
I
it.
can appreciate it. I will tell you why though, because
Yeah.
it developed character. I know it sounds crazy,
Right.
but it's like it made my skin very thick. I remember that. I remember being what they call crack. They used to call cracking jokes or cracking on people, and being able to roast somebody could ultimately lead to a fight, right?
Yeah,
But
of course. Yeah.
if you're not looking the part, you finna get cooked. Like it's just what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I learned that, but at the time, wow, it was intense.
It was that bad?
It was intense because they gonna talk about what you have on, how you look. They gonna joke on your accent. So it was heavy. It was
Right.
something that I heard a lot in high school until I became one of them.
So what were they saying to you? Because like, you know, you dressing, you don't really know about the fashion,
Yeah.
about the style, what's
Yeah.
like in, you just putting clothes on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And like when I came here, well, it's really when we left Trinity, people who got money in Trinity, they was wearing Clarks at the time, Wallabies. You know what I mean? You got fresh jeans, and you know you got polo shirt. It was a certain type of dress code, but it was considered an attire that people who got some motion.
Yeah.
They
Like
call
they
it
successful financially.
They getting some money,
Right.
you know what I mean, and they taking care of themselves, you know, and they trying to look the part. So, but when I came here, Clark's wasn't that popular. Yeah, no, Clark's wasn't that popular, bro. And even though it was a fire pair of footwear in the island, it wasn't the kicks of choice out here. Right? So you had to get cooked for that. You feel what I'm saying? Also, my accent was thick, so they was going in. Like it was like and then on top of that, they was asking me to say certain words, which is the worst thing for an island person to hear is, yo, say this like this, say this in your. I'm like, man, please. You know what I mean? But you had that. If you was, well, I want to say that was it. It was just the clothes and the accent. You know what I mean?
So when you fit in, you just learned the lingo. You learned what was good to wear, what to show up with.
Yeah, honestly, once again, it's a collab of lingo because I was going to New York also. I was back and forth. New York and Jersey City is like 15 minutes apart, 20 minutes on the train, right? New York lingo was off the chain. I'm talking about, that was the first time I heard, you know, people say B, you know, and that was just cool to me. It was good, or, you know, was popping, you know, all this type of stuff, you know what I mean? The whole East Coast lingo was attractive to me at that time, right? So it wasn't when you're around these people every day, after a while you just pick it up after a while. So it didn't take much, it didn't take long.
So you fit in now. So how much of that Trinidadian spirit in essence did you still have in you as you adopting like this new way of life? You around new people, you know, you're not seeing the same people back home. Like what was that transition like with your identity? Were you still you during that time, or you were just becoming something else?
Nah, one thing about I want to say Trini people or people from the island, it's hard for you to that origin to leave you. It's not like the same person I was would have been in Trini is who I would have been here. It wouldn't change because it was too much embedded already when I came. Like you say, if you come to the States or you come to a new place, environment between the ages of 1 to 5, it could be somewhat it could have that type of impression on you where you was actually born would probably could fade away. But I was already there 16 years.
Yeah.
I'm Trinity to the bone to this day.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only thing changed is that I live in the US now, but yeah, that's about it, dog.
So your first girlfriend coming out, did you have a girlfriend in Trinity?
In Trinity, I was young. I did have a girl that liked me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in primary school, and when I think about it, maybe honestly, I had like one real girlfriend. Maybe I knew a few chicks, but it wasn't like
You knew a few chicks. Is crazy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Damn.
And it was crazy as I did. It wasn't like I wasn't active with them. But yeah, I wasn't active with them, but I knew them. Like I knew, they liked me. We was chilling and stuff, but I didn't really go, to the
pursue
active,
it any longer. Yeah. Okay.
Till I was like 18. So I was late in the game.
So I mean, what happened? Like you were just too shy around that time?
I was definitely shy. I didn't really look. I filled out when I came to the United States, and I was like 19.
Start eating right when you got
there. Because that's another thing people don't really understand. Like when you come from where I'm from, I was mad skinny.
Yeah,
I was skinny, and that was obviously due to being impoverished and whatnot. But when you come here and you're able to afford a slightly better lifestyle, it started to change. I started to fill out. And that's when I really started getting noticed from the chicks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 19, but
so you pulling American chicks here in the States. So
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, go ahead.
In the United States, it was turned up when I came here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
From the time I crossed over 19, I was in a whole world of fire chicks. It was just weird. And it just kept coming, one after the other. And it became, it was a good feeling, you know what I mean? But yeah, it wasn't till I filled out. That's when I really started having my experience with the chicks, you know what I mean?
Now, how was it like dating up north, like Jersey and New York?
In Jersey, the women are attractive, bro. It's weird. It's just, people, everybody got preference. They have their particular, image of or personality that they're attracted to. I would say East Coast women, they may come across a little bit more aggressive.
Okay.
But
why you say that?
Because it's the atmosphere. It's an atmosphere where it's concrete out there. You know what I mean? So it's like in the city. So it's like you gotta be on your toes all the time, and I think that that has an effect, on your personality and how it projects. You know what I mean? So I think, but then you have women that are ladies. You know what I mean? I've had that as well. So it's
what's the difference? So like you said, you have some women that are ladies out there, and you have some women that are aggressive.
So like you got chicks like that's from the streets, like, but they still women. If you really get to kick it with them, you could still. There's an attraction there, you know what I mean?
So you saying they're like tomboyish?
Nah, they're just, it's weird. Like a chick will have on like denims.
Yeah.
She'll have on Timbs. She'll have on a North Face.
Not the Timbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still, she would be a female. It's a difference. They wasn't studs, but they just looked a little bit more on edge. It's rougher. Weird. Yeah, it's like, it depends on a person how you could project that, because I didn't really get to seeing a lot of studs till I came here.
Really?
Because like I was used to the chicks being street, it's some women that are completely feminine, but they got the Timbs on and they got the jeans on.
Yeah.
And we talking about tight fitted jeans so you can still see figure and stuff. They look good, but it's an East Coast kind of vibe, you know what I mean? So, but then there's a slight difference between that and a stud. Like a stud is really trying to be us. You know what I mean?
Like she's trying to appear real masculine as possible. be.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, and that's, to me, that's not really attractive. You know what I mean? So, but nah, the women, if you was to ask like, were they fine? A lot of them would be fine, but they just covered up under the street gear. You feel what I'm saying?
North Face jacket,
yeah, all that.
clothes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you wouldn't know what a chick fit. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but you wouldn't know what a chick figure looked like till she come out of all that.
Damn,
you know what I mean? Like for real.
So what was your type in those days then?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I got spoiled, and I developed a liking for women that are curvy.
Okay.
My lady gotta have assets. Like, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, and
when you say curvy, like she gotta be real thick, like just a brit, or it's just like a nice hourglass figure, you know.
She could have a nice hourglass. I'm attracted to slim, thick women too. I think that's sexy. She could be a little thick or thicker on the heavier side. You know what I mean? Solid. I'm still attracted to that, but I prefer a thick woman now above a skinny chick. Like, I wouldn't. And nothing.
Why you ain't giving the skinny chicks no love, man?
Man, nothing against the skinny chick. I think it's a combination of what I've been exposed to and coming from Trinity. Because in the island boys just like thick women, dog. It's just a thing with us. So I think that stuck with me. But yeah, I like a woman with shape. You know, it's terrible because it could be a lot of bad in that, but that's what I'm attracted to. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you.
So when you meet a girl, right? What is besides like the figure? Like, obviously, you look at with a woman with assets, right? Uh-huh. What are the things that really attract you about a girl that you looking at? You know, to see, okay, like I do want to talk to her. I want to maybe get to know her a little bit more.
Into right now, or are you talking about in the past?
Let's say now.
Let's
say the difference between back then and how's that changed with how it is today for you.
So back then, I was a complete fool. I'm gonna just be honest. Yeah, because I would completely go after a chick that has a figure like that. She would be the first one that drew me. Is physical attraction, right? Going after this type of female, it comes with a lot of toxicity because a lot of times the female that got figure, you know, more than likely you meet the ones that are more into themselves. You know, they looking at a different kind of guy who's not looking at them. You know, it's kind of like we're all chasing each other in a circle.
In a circle, right?
It's weird, right? Sometimes you catch you one, you had to have some sort of, you had to be confident in yourself pushing up on a chick like that. But it was a cliche kind of mindset. It's nothing that I would give any credit to because now that I'm older, it was a fool's view. Like, you know, if you was to base a chick on what she looked like, you heading for disaster right off the muscle because you don't really know what is on the inside, right? Now, you fast forward to today, I would completely 100% have to be mentally attracted to a female, meaning we have to be able to have a conversation. We both have to be genuine with regards to getting to know each other and have, you know, with pursuit of having a relationship, hopefully, if that's the case, or that's a goal for both of us, I'd have to be mentally attracted. Now, I'm not saying you gonna just be all mental. Like, you gotta, your body gotta look good. I gotta be attracted to you. Right, you know what I mean? Because one thing that, as a man, I would impress, you know, no matter what they say, I gotta look at you every day.
Yeah.
In the house.
Right. You have to be physically attracted.
Yes, I gotta be able to look at you and be turned on, like immediately on sight, right?
He said immediately.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can't just, and I'm not body shaming nobody, but I gotta be I gotta look at you and be aroused, like, damn, you know what I mean? Now, I don't want to emphasize on
you're
that.
keeping it real though, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like personality is super important. Like that makes you want to keep that person around you and invest in you. But if you look at that woman and you're not feeling her, then there's no way you can do it.
Yeah, and I like to be clear about that. It should be a balance. There should be a balance, right? I'm not saying that, because the likelihood of you running into the chick that you're physically attracted to, and she presenting herself absent a brain is gonna be a disaster for you anyway, right? So there has to be a balance. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not just dating a chick for good personality. I'm telling you right now. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying?
You ever tried it, Harris?
No, because it's funny.
Yeah.
My whole aura wouldn't even allow me. Like, because we gotta keep in mind, I'm a man first.
Right.
We are 100% visual.
Yes, we are.
I wish I could. Oh, she's sweet. You not finna make it. Nah, you not. And thankfully though, in our world today, a lot of women are having nice bodies. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's not everybody, but a lot of chicks that I'm seeing is looking amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I think living like a fit lifestyle is in these days.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And also, I go both for me as well. I gotta take care of myself physically, and look the part, right? But for the most part, man, you gotta look like something, bro. Like,
so what about, let's say you get with a girl, and now she was bad when you got with her, but now she just let herself go. What do you do in that situation?
I think it's part my responsibility to always make sure that I acknowledge her and like praise her at her best points.
What do you mean by that?
When I say praise, I mean if I met her and she looked good, I'm letting her know that all the time by way of affirmation, by way of being verbal, descriptive, by way of touch. When she comes around me, she could kind of feel like I'm into her. You know what I mean? So it's an energy that has to be projected there, but also it's a little bit of work. I gotta big you up, baby. You look good. You might not make it out to the. You feel me? Or I like to have fun inside the house too. So our relationship would be lit inside out. So, but it's partly my job to big her up and make sure she knows that I'm your number one fan. I think that goes a long way in relationship, because now she's like, damn, my dude loves the way I look.
Yeah.
And she's gonna try to implement that in her dressing. So it's never supposed to get to where, she just fell off. There's a transition between that.
It's gradual.
Yeah, and you have a job to do. Because sometimes women go through all sorts of changes. I've learned that for myself. And sometimes it would take for you to mention something to bring back that spark, that fire, right? So I would definitely say it's partly our job. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't fall off. Like me, I don't believe in just taking care of you outside. And I guess that depends on the guy too, because I like to take care of my lady. If I'm in a relationship with her, I'm gonna cook for her. I'm gonna cook foods that are healthy. I'm gonna introduce her to stuff that is gonna be internally strengthening for the body, and it's gonna promote, better health for more long term, for a longer lasting life. So all of these things create an attraction, because when she learns these things, she's like, wow, I just, my eyes is opened up now to some good stuff. And I'm just saying, in my experience, some of the things that I've done that I've seen that's worked. It's just, so your lady shouldn't fall off. Y'all gotta still date. Y'all gotta keep it fiery. I believe in keeping a relationship fiery.
So speak on that, because, what do you think are the things that keep a relationship alive? Because obviously, you know, you do have your honeymoon phase, right? You start dating the first few months, maybe the first year is fire.
Yeah.
But then you kind of get used to each other, you know? So how do you go about maintaining an exciting relationship?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, you guys have to date. You gotta just be willing to explore every season of change in your relationship. And that comes with just being open-minded, sometimes optimistic, not being too stiff on what you believe and what you stand on, because you still gotta create an environment where she could feel comfortable too. So you gotta be a tad bit neutral to where she could, because also what I've seen is, you know, sometimes females, they throw this around, but they want to be themselves with you, right? So that's going to take a little bit of effort from your part to set that environment. So you got to date, you know, I believe inside of even in the house, you know, you guys could play dominoes, play games, play games together.
Yeah.
I my dream inside relationship, a lot of bonding time, you know, conversations, you know, just you and her sitting down. These are things that are still considered intimate without being physical, but it's, you know, it's attraction of the mind. Now you guys getting to really level up, right?
That's
so
right.
you gotta take her out. You know, y'all could change environments, and just be willing to explore. Now, in between those few things that I mentioned, there's no way that you guys could get bored if it's practiced on a daily, right? And of course, we don't have, you know, we don't. I was just listening to a message and it said something that was key. It's very few times out of, you know, from on a scale of 1 to 10, where every day is just ecstatic. It's just life is just not that
possible.
way. You may have 2 days out of that 10 that's superb.
Yeah.
But the other 8, it was
Life
so
is
so,
happening,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So when you look at those numbers, it's up to you to understand that every day you get up is a chance to know a different side of your lady every day. And if you was to give that a try, you'd be amazed of what you could give birth to in your relationship. You know what I mean?
What about the idea of needing space? You believe in that you should have your own space?
Good question. Good question. Honestly, so this is my take on that, right? You guys are in a relationship. You guys both have a career. Assuming you guys both have a career, you go to work. You have to leave the house or go separate ways. Usually work from about 8 hours a day. Sometimes some people work longer. 8 hours is a sufficient amount of space. Now, if you get off and you still want some more space once in a while, you might want to go have something to eat, sit alone. Cool. But the idea of wanting space to where, you know, it starts to take up half of the 24 hours on a regular basis, then you're just demonstrating to the other person that you don't really want a relationship, to me. Yeah, because there's no such thing, you know, you get in a relationship because you want to share a space with somebody, you want to get to know them. If you want space, and we talk about above half the time, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're going to neglect the other person by default. You're going to neglect them emotionally because there's a love language there that needs to be fed. And if you want that much space, you're clearly not feeling that. You're clearly not feeling this person's love.
Right.
Yeah, and what you're doing is, and I'm saying you do what you want with your own life, but if you want to build a relationship, there's no such thing as I always need space.
Yeah.
To me, that could take away from, you know, the possibility of having an amazing relationship with another with the opposite sex. You know what I mean? So, I don't really like the idea, and I went through that myself, so I know how that feels. That you need space.
How did you go about that when you like experiencing it and going through it?
the same way it was kind of one of those, she felt like, we bumped heads. Now, I'm not gonna lie. In my experience, it's a tad bit of immaturity there too. So
Yeah.
I had to, endure that. But realistically, like I said, a lot of times we go our separate ways for work on a daily basis. I'm talking about long periods. Sometimes it's 10 hours. If you need space after that, now mind you, in those 10 hours, you still have text. You still have text message.
Sure.
You got. Sometimes you might have work a job that allows you to talk to your significant other on the phone. There should be a healthy amount of communication on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of needing space to me is absurd, because the only space I need was the space I needed to work and do what I need to do, make my money. But when I get off, my time is yours. That's how I'm looking.
Let me play devil's advocate a little bit, Hash. You
Right.
got your space, right?
Mm-hmm.
You working,
Mm-hmm.
but you being drained, right, with your tasks, with dealing with other people and stuff. And so your energy could be limited at a certain point.
Okay.
Right. So how do you go about handling it? Because
Once-
some people would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good fact. But me, I am a relationship kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I live to share a space with a woman or spouse or girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That wants that. You know what I mean? So I could, and like I said, everybody's different. I could work 15 hours a day, and when I get off, I'm trying to see her like immediately.
Yeah.
And that's just me, being honest. I don't have to, like, I'm not one of them guys who I need a day to go kick it with the homies. I get off for 15 hours. I'm trying to see her. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see her. So that's just me. I think it's just the energy of it's depends on the person. But I understand if you're the type of person that feel like you need space. I think it's good for you to take that type of space, but I don't think it's good to take too much of it.
What's a big detriment to relationships that you see today that you think are like guaranteed? If you go down that route, if you don't do this, whatever you're trying to build, it's not gonna happen.
Communication is a big. It could be I've seen this in my walk. There needs to be some level of how you say, like, urgency about that. Like, to me, like, because the lack of it could destroy your entire relationship. Like, I've seen that. All right, for instance, if I text you, you got about you know what I'm about to say. You had about 2 business hours to respond to my text before I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm dead serious, dog. I'm talking about.
So what if you get a text message 6 hours later and you get I was busy?
That's a red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag. I'm sorry. Yeah, because if I were to do that to you, you'd be wondering what the heck I got going on, right? I think people forget that. They love to draw that scenario, but they forget that goes both ways. You don't know what your significant other was trying to communicate to you. And you 6 hours, she could have been dead. You feel me? Like, on the extreme level, right?
On the extreme level, that's right.
And you now getting back with the, oh, babe, I'm sorry, I was busy. That's to me is a red flag.
You'd see that as disrespectful?
Unless you absolutely are in a situation where maybe your phone died, you had to go to an appointment way far out, and your phone. Yeah. Other than that, no. That's questionable to me in my experience, because nowadays, a trip through the drive-through is enough time to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before you know it, you got your order. You already, you know what I mean? And
Right.
now you. So to me, no, I don't care what nobody say. People are, oh, he might be insecure. No, bro. I'm just talking generally speaking. If you getting to know someone now, if you years in a relationship and you understand, okay, your lady or your dude got a schedule that doesn't allow them to, be texting.
You know their routine.
Yeah, you know the routine. That's different.
Yeah.
But I'm talking, if I just met you and I'm getting to know you, and I shoot you a text and you didn't text me back for 6 hours.
That's crazy.
And if it happened one time, I'm gonna give you a pass. But if that junk happened like 3 times. I'm like, yeah, this finna be a problem.
I've had a person text me 2 days later and casually just continue the conversation, not say, oh, my bad, this happened, just 2 days later. Like, that's crazy.
Dog, let me tell you something. I had that happen to me in real time. And when I tell you that was the end of that relationship.
I'm sure it was.
Because and I'm not saying I didn't take a L in my day. I've taken a few L's where I let stuff like that slide and then we try to rebuild. But what that creates is a toxic environment because it's not, the lack of consistency there is what causes the gap and the being uninsured.
So you're saying 2 things now: communication and consistency.
It has to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's especially in the process where we're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what creates an elevation for things to go to the next level. Mm-hmm. Imagine you just met the chick you digging on, and she give you a number. You talk to her one day, then you all of a sudden day 2 you just disappear.
Yeah.
Where she was right here, she's now right back here.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because you wasn't consistent.
That's right.
And you wasn't. And
That's
who's to blame? And not like
your own self.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So I would say there needs to be a healthy balance there. And women will tell you, a lot of women, in as flawed as they are, a woman likes consistency.
100%.
She want to know that you're interested in her, mm-hmm. and you gonna push that issue every day until you get to where y'all locked in. You know what I mean? So yeah, it has to be, bro. Communication, dog, and consistency. That's for sure.
And with that being said, do you feel like the dating scene in 2025, is there a lot of that, or you feel like there's not from what you see from your experience, what do you see? Do you think that most people have consistency and good communication, or is the opposite?
Because of the social media being like a platform that is well known for distracting people individually, right? As well as in a relationship. The impact that it had, because you got so many options, it's too many distractions now. So nowadays, people are, it's like they compartmentalize, like, what they see with what they got going on in the relationship, right? So it's like, it's too much comparisons going on. Before you could allow something to just develop and blossom organically, you already done chopped it down with 18 perspectives that have nothing to do with what you have in front of you. When initially what you supposed to be doing is allowing you guys to have a space where you could bond, mm-hmm. and build. Mm-hmm. Nobody's perfect. So even if you mess up, whatever that mess up might be, a brief, hey babe, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, mm-hmm. would change the dynamics of things if it's in the right place, mm-hmm. right? Yeah. So, and it's not hard. You don't need a degree to know these things. Mm-hmm. It's just pure communication. So I think our world today is screwed with regards to that, bro. I mean, as long as you have Instagram, your lady or your dude, and I don't want to be biased or sexist, but I think guys generally, we're a little bit more solid when it comes to they like to say, you can't find good men and stuff. I beg to differ because I think that when we like you, we really like you.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you say what you want to say. I mean, we got our nature, but if a nigga like you, It's nothing he won't do to make sure that that his presence is felt.
Okay.
In that approach, right? So,
he gonna pursue.
Yeah, he's gonna pursue.
Right.
If he see something he like, best believe he don't see nothing else.
I was definitely.
You know what I mean? Now, it's up to you to whether or not you want to give him that time. But a lot of times we're more, we're fixated more emotionally. When we locked in, when we're emotionally tied, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So, with that being said, does true love exist?
I strongly believe true love exists, bro. I don't think they could have come up with a zillion different rules. They could come up with 1,000 different, sexually transmitted diseases. Love is one of them forces that's gonna happen, B. I'm sorry. I don't care what you going through. Love is one of them things that can happen in a hospital room. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk.
The Burger King bathroom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It can happen. So I would, and I'm just speaking. I'm being optimistic.
Sure.
A lot of people would feel like love is fried today, and I could understand why they would think that way. But me personally, I believe in love to the fullest, dog. I believe you could have been at war and find your spouse in the middle.
Why you feel that way? Because even today you see a lot of women and a lot of men too, right? Talk about everything is transactional now, right? So like women, they'll say, as guys that say, women just want you for what you can provide, right?
Yeah.
And then there's women that say, well, guys just want you on how big your butt is, how lustful you look to them, how much they want your body. So, I mean, what do you say to that?
That's a good question, right? So honestly, and I can say this firmly because I'm living in the same time. I have to combat with the same content, the same platforms of distraction, the same foolishness that's being spewed verbally by a lot of people nowadays because you have a phone. But I can't escape the nature in which I was fashioned by God, right? So, and that nature is, I'm a man, you're a woman, opposites attract.
Yes.
Also, there's, in my mind, this is my understanding, this is what makes us a people. And they could deflect from this as much as they want to. We need each other. Male to female. We need each other. Could you imagine if we was living in a world with no females?
That sounds miserable.
And insane.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we forget that. Like, bro, we need each other. There's a certain level of a balance that is established when man meets woman. 100%. Right? So despite of what they talk about in today's world, maybe it's because I go against the odds too, you know what I mean? So I look at the bottle half full. So I don't really care how much, there's a way we could put that phone down and we could really just tap into each other up here. And once you get her attention, I feel like you could kind of establish an understanding, so where there's a balance, right? Because like I say, the only reason the whole our community now is, they put out this title of being transactional is because of what has been spewed online.
Yeah.
Multiple times. First is BBL, then is, you know what I mean? Then is, what you gonna do for me? But to be honest with you, and
do you think that's most people? That most women or most men think like that in the world?
No, actually, I don't, bro, because I've learned that despite of how high the numbers is and how impactful the influence is from stuff that we see online, there's another community of people that don't be online. You're not gonna find them on dating apps. you will have to go to the store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might have to go to Marshall's. Like, for real.
Walk through TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
These some of these people, they are not in the world of social media. So
I've seen it. This is true.
yes.
Yeah, this is fact.
So
Yeah.
if you, and we can we easily count these numbers out because we got that TV. We could look at that. We could see Ty Dolla $ign,
Yeah.
Tank. These are people that are celebrity figures that we're attracted to, any celebrity figure. But there's a community of people that don't even be online.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, it's a possibility that they want the same thing you want. You just haven't seen them yet. So that's just my perspective on
But
it.
true love does exist.
I do believe it exists.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And is finding true love still worth it in 2025?
I think it is because, for instance, if you really look at it, the only reason we're saying that and we're kind of, overwhelmed with that perspective now is because we live here.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, you pick up now and you go to South Africa. The culture is totally different. The women are still, they still have a grounded way of thinking in the sense that there's still women that will want to take care of you. They would like you genuinely. And it's not all the way about the money. You can still find that. There's people, there's places like India, Egypt, Afghan. These places live different. Australia, they look at us differently. So I think it's with regards to that, it's entirely environment based. You know what I mean? Like, it's because this is what is going on here in our world. But you got to be open minded, man. I mean, if it takes you to cross a few seas to find you a good woman, I think you should go.
Yeah.
That's just me, because if you stay here, you would have subjected yourself to something completely toxic, and before you know it, you're old in age, and you have not experienced true love, and your excuse is that this is all we had to choose from.
Damn, when that's not even
It's sad.
It's
It's
real
sad.
man.
You go to Sudan. The women still believe in covering themselves and keeping themselves to their husband. Like, it's happening. It's not happening in our world. You know what I mean? So I do believe it exists, bro. And I feel like I support going far to find it. I think it's worth it. Because the peace of mind you would get, imagine the peace of mind you would get after meeting her.
Wow.
Your life changed.
Yeah.
And now you can still function in this world, but you're getting to experience what you really need.
But also in this world, now everything's more enhanced now because of the genuine love that you get. And so now what's normal, like even going to a park, that is even more amazing because you got a great partner to do it with. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Which makes the traveling towards getting it all the way worth it. And I'm talking from somebody who wish I would have done the same thing, because I didn't. I was one of the people that, I felt like this was the environment that I was stuck in, and I needed to pick something from here. And that could be the worst decision, because like I said, you get into a relationship or you get married, you want it to be forever.
Right.
Imagine spending forever with the wrong person.
Oh, damn. That sounds like torture.
That's a disaster
that's
happening.
a disaster.
You know what I mean? So
People's lives get destroyed.
yeah.
Like
And only thing you would have in the outcome is a stressed life. You're definitely looking at being unhealthy, because the stress starts to affect your body, which is something we don't pay attention to. And cause all sorts of other internal illnesses. You know what I mean? So it's like, is that really worth just settling for what's around?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I agree.
Because you get older, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be upset. You're going to resent your life. And, only thing you got to show is a bottle of Crown and this chick who turned, you feel me? to take some of the edge off, like you said.
Go hang out with the boys,
Yeah,
try to
you know
get
what I'm
away
saying?
from her
Yeah.
for a couple of hours, and then You gotta come back. And...
Exactly. I mean, how much turkey leg hut you going? How much Patron you gonna shoot back? You know what I'm saying? Like real talk.
So Hash, I want you to tell me, man, what makes a great man? And when I say great, I mean a man who garners respect, who you look at in the eye and you say, you know, I respect you. And if you needed anything from me, I would be there for you. What makes a great man?
I think honestly, a great man has to be someone that's God-fearing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's at the top of the list. Like, because once a man fears God, his steps is ordained in a certain type of way that demands respect, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. A godless man is likely to be lost and tossed and driven to and fro with every wind that blows, right?
You're saying he's less grounded.
Less grounded. So you got to be God-fearing. That would be the first thing that comes to mind. A sense of humility would carry you a long way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because nobody likes, I mean, it's good for you to be confident, but a lot of times it's inflated. You know what I mean? You know, we're ego-driven and it's easy to confuse both. And before you know it, you're demonstrating a lack of empathy towards anybody else. You know what I mean? So, but what I've seen with those two characteristics, along with a strong presence of genuine love, comes respect. I don't know what. It's something about that people gravitate to. I don't care how lit you are, how live you are at the streets. You show a nigga love, respect, you know, and something about that resonates in a powerful way on the inside. You know, before you know it, y'all able to bond in a way that you didn't even see. And right there, your respect is given. It's like, man, and you know, it goes up. It has a few other things that, you know, play along with it, but I would definitely say God-fearing, humility, and love. Those things to me, it makes a man great.
You know, I've been around people that we probably didn't grow up the same at all. Yeah, we grew up different environments, and we hang out around different environments. And the only reason we even crossing paths right now is because maybe you decided to step outside of your comfort zone or vice versa.
Exactly.
But because there's all these differences, I still gave that person, or that person still gave me respect, or I treated them with humility. Now that person, you know, they shaking my hand, they smiling, they treated me with welcome now, you know, no matter what differences we have socially, that don't matter, you know, they still receive that, and it just like disarms them.
Exactly.
You know?
That's the perfect word, because a lot of times as people, depending on what you've been exposed to your entire life, you're going to have this wall up because you don't want to let everybody in, right? With humility and a strong presence, a love does, it disarms that. Because it allows the person to now feel, man, they don't even know what that's called. All they know is that registered to them as, bro, you could let your baggage down right here because it's good right here. And bro, you have no idea how gratifying that is to the human being. Because you gotta remember, we all going through some form of hell. Yeah, I could sit here and say, you know, my life been rough, but I can't say that without acknowledging what you might have gone through on your end. You've probably faced your own share of hells. If I could at least give room for you to take off some of the burden, right there we could bond. Now you don't feel alone. Now you feel like, man, because, you know, Dale Carnegie, in his book, I'll never forget, he talks about what the most important thing to a human being. And I promise you, this people we overlook as a people, but to be honest with you, it's a known fact. And the thing that we most desire is to be acknowledged. Is to be recognized, to feel a sense of appreciation, even if it's for a short period of time. That is a sigh of relief to the average human being. It's very simple. I mean, we would like to complicate things and, put all sorts of superstition in the air, but just you could try it as soon as you wake up tomorrow. Anybody that comes into your presence, and just kind of welcome them with a sense of, I'm here for you. It's weird. Like, it's like saying I'm here for you without saying it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guarantee you they're gonna probably exhale on the inside. Because
I've seen it. No,
it's a true fact. We all need it. So I just don't. I would highly suggest that, if we was to show just those three things, I think for some reason it would, because let's be optimistic. The likelihood of somebody going against that and still disrespecting you.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Really?
Now, you there's a level of ignorance out there, right?
That's what I was about to say.
Right.
You do have some people that are just knuckleheads, and
true.
They don't know. I mean, not that they don't know no better, but they don't care.
Right. But what I'm saying is, what is the likelihood of you meeting this person every day?
Pretty small. Yeah, pretty small.
And I'm telling you from experience. I keep hitting this mic. I'm sorry.
You're good, huh?
I'm saying it from experience, bro. I've been around for a minute. If we want to use that word disarm, I've probably disarmed a lot of people. And I'm happy to say that, because you don't have to have this defense down. Imagine the psychological effect of you living like this your entire time.
Man.
You just feel like everybody is trying to attack you.
As somebody that knows how to use his hands, been trained how to use his hands, I've never really had to use my hands in the streets. Why? Because when you really look at people, when you look at another man and you understand that he probably going through a lot right now, maybe it's not even me.
It's not even you.
Maybe it's just some other insecurity, some other frustration, and you just talk to somebody with respect, with love, like you said, that openness, man, all that goes out the window.
I'm telling you.
Real quick.
I'm telling you.
And it's like, damn, it's not even worth it.
No. And as you said that, I've been in some of the most challenging neighborhoods, if you want to say, coming up from a child to now.
Yeah.
I could count on one hand how many confrontations I've had in my entire life.
Really?
All behind those three traits I told you about earlier. Yeah. And we're black. We're from the hood. A lot of times we're coming from the rougher parts of town.
Yeah.
Where a lot of bumping heads can happen. But I guarantee you, respect, love, and humility will take you a long way. I'm talking about the most grimiest people in the streets gravitate to that too. Why? They are human beings.
Yeah.
They want to be loved. So it's just not like I'm saying we pulling, apples out the sky. This is happening. And it doesn't get old. Like, I don't care what times they impress upon us. You have these three characteristics about you. You are going to have a more positive experience going through life than negative. It doesn't say you're not going to go through.
Sure.
I'm just saying your experience with regards to the effect that can have is going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah. So when you think, Ash, of a man that you respect, right, that you see as somebody to look up to, or saw as somebody to look up to, who's somebody that comes to mind?
Right up the muscle, Malcolm X.
Malcolm.
Malcolm. And there's other guys. It's a lot of guys tip my hat to, but when I think about him, and this is the thing about the way I view him. I have a healthy respect for men that are broken, only because I can relate, right? He's flawed, but he stood for something that he believed in, and he was passionate about it to the death.
Mm-hmm.
Rare. Yeah, in a time where adversity, he woke up to it with a sense of humility and a smile. And it's still a passion for black people. You know what I'm saying? Tupac. I think about him. I don't know if it's because I just watched his documentary. I understand him. A lot of anxiety, a lot of, the energy is crazy. But this kid was a product of an environment, and he was trying to be heard. He was broken, he was flawed, and he operated in a space where it wasn't much room for him to be himself. And he fought. He fought the hardest. He didn't let up. One thing I respect about him, the dude did not waste time. In 25 years, this kid accomplished more than some people accomplished 60 years above ground.
He was only 25 when he passed. But his mom, not on like you said, just piggyback off and just echoing what you said, he had been through a lot as a kid because his mom and him live in poverty. But another thing is his mom was a Black Panther. And armed him with the ability to teach him to fight for everything that he believed in. So
that had an effect.
By the time he, was a young adult, oh yeah, he's basically carrying the same energy that they was carrying in the 70s with Huey Newton, and Malcolm and all of those Black activists that unfortunately, a lot of them lost the cause, and lost their way. But he had that same fire because his mother had implemented that same fire.
And to be honest with you, he was one up because he was born into an environment of being woke. So, but he was also 24.
Damn.
Me and you passed that up, right?
Oh yeah.
This dude, what I respected about him, he did not play with the time he had. It's like every day he was trying to create, something that could be remembered for the rest of. At 24, I know niggas 24 are still sipping Four Locos. For real.
He ain't doing shit.
Not doing nothing. To have zero impact on no one.
Right.
So, there's a few other people.
When you put it into perspective like that, that's heavy, yeah.
Yes, bro. Yeah. You gotta think, bro. Some of these people are not making it to 30 and have accomplished nothing. What are you doing? Honestly, I've learned as a man, bro.
Yeah.
The worst thing you could do is to get up in age and reflect on your life. They call it a midlife crisis, but we're reflecting constantly as men and realize that you have wasted the last 15 years of your life doing nothing.
That's terrifying, man. Yeah.
It could damn near sink you into depression instantly.
100%. Like you said, it happens all the time with midlife crisis.
Yes. You know what I mean? Then we pull up at the liquor store for these guys. You feel what I'm saying? Because we feel like it just hit me. I have got nothing accomplished in the time that I was here. I'm out here trying to be at every event on the weekend. I'm trying to see what the niggas is up to. And years is passing by, and now I'm to the point where I'm like, yo, I'm 46.
Time is
I
gone.
have done nothing with my life. You feel what I'm saying? Like to me, that's a very dark place for a guy, man. But
yeah, I can imagine.
You got a guy like Tupac. I would like to grab a whiff of his energy and go with it. You know what I mean? Because we would make every day count like it was the last.
like imagine, like just like you said, just 25, all everything he accomplished, he was constantly the man didn't sleep, man. You know, he was just constantly trying to, you know, be a conscious individual, put music out there to, you know, help the people that are disenfranchised, that are going through, you know, things like people go through in the hood, police brutality, you know, all these injustices. He was constantly making sure that he's doing what he can and the most that he can while the time it is. Malcolm, I'm happy you brought him up, Hash, because people don't understand everything that you can imagine that a person in the underworld would do. Like, I'm talking about like criminal life.
Mm-hmm.
He did it all.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't really change or reinvent himself until he was like close to his mid-30s. Malcolm died at 38.
Mm-hmm.
People like, he died at 38. He reinvented his life when he was like 34. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but he never let time be an excuse for him not to be able to change and be the person that he wanted to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't find no excuse. He just did it. Malcolm used glasses. People don't know that. Malcolm used glasses because when he was in prison and he was in that jail cell, they turned off the lights and he would force read in the dark, and he strained his vision so much that he hurt his vision. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful stuff.
Also, look how many years it's been since Malcolm has left us.
Still talking about him.
And we still have that impact right now. It's some of us who wouldn't be able to say the same when we go right now.
We forgotten in a year, man. You know?
So, and I'm not saying, you know, the world we live in, it's difficult. You know, it makes it hard for you to be somebody. Our leaders get killed first, so it's not a position you know we're diving after.
Not everybody can be Malcolm. First of all,
you can't.
Not everybody's meant to. There's only one Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's meant to try to fill those type of shoes, and I think that people should just live a fulfilling life. You know, because you said some people realize, damn, I ain't done nothing but gone to the club every weekend.
That's it.
Drank.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe slept with a few different girls every now and then. But I'm old. I don't have the same energy. I can't travel as much because I don't have the mobility no more. Mm-hmm. Damn, like it's over.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how they feel, right?
And it's nothing worse than to get up in age and feel unaccomplished.
Man,
that would, I don't know, maybe. And I can't say that. I think anybody, no matter what sign you are, you get up in age and you start to evaluate, what have I done? And if it doesn't amount to much, you could lose sight and just be like, you know, you've given up at that point. You know what I mean? So
what's your biggest fear, Ash, as an individual?
Honestly, man, now I don't have much fear. I really don't. You know, I've embraced, you know, the end times, going. I've experienced heartbreak on an extreme level, and still, I've learned to smile and still say thank you. Like these two words, these two things has been prevalent in you know in the person that I've become today. So, but the only person I really fear, honestly, is God.
Yeah.
Seriously, if I'm being very honest, I fear God. I have a healthy fear of God, and deep waters like blue waters. I don't know.
I can't swim, that. As of today, I can't swim. That might change in the future, but I would most definitely.
Yeah, that you mess around and push me too hard if I were on a boat or something, I'm out of there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm out of there. And it wouldn't be that I wouldn't be able to, you know, get a few strokes in to try to make it back.
You grew up on an island, man. You should know how to swim.
But it's true. A lot of island people know how to swim. It's true. But it's not even that. It's the fact that I'm in the ocean and I could be snatched up. So the fear of what I was down there is what's gonna do it for me.
Phobia.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, but no, I don't. Other than that, man, I do. I wouldn't say fear, but lost time that I can't get back is a big deal. So, and that's something that we don't really appreciate when you're young, but when you get a little older, you start to realize time is a big deal.
It starts to show physically and everything.
It's not even that. It's the fact that you can't get it back.
Yeah.
Like, and if you waste it doing the wrong thing, you lost it.
Damn.
Like, you don't get a chance to redo that. And it's crazy because you got people, their main goal is to try to stay young. Well, that's equivalent to trying to buy time.
Right.
You can't do it.
It's one of those resources that is being used and there's no way to get it back.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's why I think, the way you spend it while you have it is key.
So Hash, I want to talk about this, man. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what that is.
The potent perspective, man. This is so amazing to me right here. There's 3 images in this you can't see. Well, you can see it right here. This is a dragon's face. That's a fox right there. And there's one more image. It's a fox, a dragon, and there's
you see the dragon.
Yeah, just to see the dragon. Yeah, and basically, it represents, wisdom, being clever. There's a few other analogies under the image itself, but the potent perspective is just basically my perspective. It has potent perspective, but it still represents, intelligence. It represents being sharp, being woke, you know what I mean, and being conscious. You know what I mean, if anything, and it a lot of us, it's something that we live to express nowadays. It's perspective. We want everybody to understand our perspective. So that's basically what sums up the poem perspective in a nutshell. You know what I mean?
And this is a whole brand.
This is a brand. I intend to do a lot with this, but not do too much at the same time. But it's definitely the brand that I came up with for the podcast, and for our platform to do what we're doing here, to sit and talk.
And what's the mission of the potent perspective?
The mission in potent perspective is to create a platform where men could talk. You can express yourself. You could share your thoughts, your journeys with other brothers like yourself. We could sit down. We could have productive conversation. We could, in some way, I want to say, not medicate the situation, but kind of we could come up with some sort of solution by way of upliftment. You know what I mean? Whether that be in conversation, that might be, what I'm saying, in doing some stuff together. You know what I mean? Anything that is productive for the male, because a lot of times men, if we're not productive, it's weird. With everything that we have going on, the devil finds a way to use people that are not productive. And for a man to be not productive, he's now destructive.
That's right.
And it's not good. You know what I mean? And I could only speak for the men. A lot of us need guidance, and every last one of us needs a role model. And I feel like I could give that from this platform. I could give positive role model at least. And I think that in itself is a blessing, because a lot of times we pick up, swag, we pick up lingo, we pick up looks from watching someone else on TV, right?
Right.
So why not, there be a positive type of force that, also there's a lot of people that, and believe it or not, as busy as our world is, you would be surprised who would be paying attention to
Most
you.
definitely.
You'd be really surprised. So,
even if, you know what, and even if it's just one person,
I'm telling you,
as long as you helping somebody,
I'm telling you,
all that matters.
it's all that matters. At least one.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, you're likely to attract different people, multiple, people, but at least one. At
That's
least
right.
you know that you have an impact on somebody's life is a
100%.
big deal. Yeah.
So, Hash, the way that I like to end all of my videos on the Art of Conversation is asking a question to you. And the question is, would you end the video with, it could be a deep quote, it could be something that's not deep, it could be a thought, a perspective, or something that you just want to say and get off of your chest. What would you like to share?
To end the show, wow. Don't try to dictate your future. Like, don't be optimistic. If I could say, if I could tell you one thing, is be optimistic. Know that there is a power higher than yours. A lot of people don't like to. Some people may not like to identify with who, the creator is. You know what I mean? So we try to keep it to a minimum. But surrender yourself, to a power that's higher than yours, and understand that, God is the author and finisher of your faith. You know what I mean? Something that we all need. You know what I mean? We all need it. A lot of times we can't really understand where our struggle come from. That should let you know it's a power higher than yours. You know what I'm saying? That's causing you to feel like you're up against a constant challenge, right? So sometimes we can't make it to therapy. We can't make it to sit with the professionals. We don't have that type of money. It's a higher power that you could call on. That that would be my closing statement. Don't try to dictate your own future, because you really don't know what is in store for you tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hash, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother.
It is late as hell.
It's all good. This was worth every minute, so it's cool.
I'm happy. I'm the honored one, Hash. I appreciate you, man.
It's always good to see you, bro. It's always good to have you and us to sit down. Our conversations, eventually, I feel like we're gonna get the proper production, and it's gonna get delivered the way it's supposed to. Our conversations be too lit to not share with the world. So I'm looking forward to that. Like,
we're gonna get to all of that.
We're gonna get to all that. Yeah.
First, we're gonna get to some sleep.
Yeah. Nah, it's all good.
Your Honor, I speak on behalf of the lost, on behalf of the little nigga trying to get a Porsche.